guys, Marstinkin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so we had a data download hit earlier, giving us a whole bunch of details of new stuff that is being added into the game. And it's a little bit sooner than we expected for some of this stuff. So a lot of this stuff is coming out tonight if you're in the US, or tomorrow morning if you're in the UK. Like me, I will be going live when all the stuff comes out, so keep an eye out on the channel. Do come on over, and we'll be going through a lot of this stuff. So I don't know if this means officially part 2 is starting tomorrow, which is a bit earlier than some of us expected, but I have already seen a lot of people saying that they're kind of already done with all of the part 1 content. So if this is the official start of part 2, then obviously that's going to be very, very good. So we're getting a whole bunch of new units, new support memories, and of course, as I'll probably put in the title, looking through some of this stuff, we're going to be getting over 350 free Dragon Stones. So for people like me who are done summoning on the Dokkan Fest banners and are looking forward to the Part 2 LR banner, that's obviously going to help you out. And if you still haven't pulled Goku or Frieza, that's obviously going to be useful as well, because a lot of these stones you're going to be able to get tomorrow when all of this stuff drops, and the 3+1 rotation discount thing is still live on the banners. So we're going to go through all of the units and the information here. Obviously we have the Easy A for AGL Goku, the 2 more Ginyu Force Easy A's, Jace and Berta. We have the farmable Krillin that awakens into Krillin exchanging into Vegeta. And then, of course, the win-lose cards are added to the database here as well. But obviously we won't actually have them in-game because, you know, the actual showdown thing needs to finish and we need to have a winner and a loser first. But let's go through all of the information here. So shout out to Asuna for some of this information. Air Dokkan, obviously, always putting out the good info. And we do have some translations from Goresh as well, so shout out to all of them. So the new event is coming, or a new event, Furious Charge Breaking the Siege. So this is based on Bardock flying up from planet Vegeta to confront Frieza, fighting through all the multitude of Frieza soldiers. So it says there'll be 5 stages, 1 for each type, in which you'll have to face the Frieza soldiers. Each stage should have a total of 25 Frieza soldiers. By completing the missions, you'll get Dragon Stones, Kais, stickers, etc. By each type, I mean versus AGL, versus Tech, versus Int, versus SDR, and versus Physical. So this could be like the different variations of that like Frieza training event thing that they've done, where it's kind of like different variations of the punching bag. It does say there are 25 soldiers, so I wonder if this is going to be just a straight up, like, there's 5 fights of 5 soldiers, and maybe they go up in difficulty, or maybe it is kind of like the punching bag thing, and the way they're doing it is you have a certain turn limit. Every time you kill, like, a Frieza soldier, it just goes on to the next one, and you have to try and kill all 25 before the turns run out. At this point, we don't know the exact specifics, but total Dragon Stones obtainable by completing all stages and all missions is 35, so pretty decent. All the missions consist of beating a certain number of Frieza soldiers, 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25 for each stage. So pretty good. It's interesting to see that not just the win-lose cards, we're getting a lot of Bardock themed stuff, because next up, also shout out to Dokkan Assets for posting all the asset stuff, we have a new wallpaper coming. So this isn't necessarily the best one. I mean, the top and the bottom are pretty blank, but that does work obviously for a wallpaper because you're going to have all the menu options and stuff down here. You guys know me, Bardock fanboy, this is probably going to be my wallpaper for a little while. I did retweet this jokingly saying, hey, does that mean we're getting the last 2 copies of LRT Bardock? But obviously that was kind of a joke, because apparently we're just never getting those. But yeah, this is very cool. This definitely adds more fuel to the speculation that the Part 2 LR, rather than being a Namek Saga unit, could actually be like a new Bardock or a new First Form Frieza. So very interesting to see where this leads to. So then we have little bit of information about the Bulma event. So this is something that we did know briefly about before the celebration started. You're going to be able to get 10 stones a day from this event. And it says here, according to the missions added on Global, we'll be able to obtain a total of 280 stones from Bulma's event. So that is a huge amount of stones that you get for free just for playing a daily event, which, let's face it, a lot of these events that they've done in the past, like they did the launch one during one of the celebrations, these are not events that are difficult. They are events where you take in a team, almost like even under a low leader skill, you take in a team and you just one-shot the boss at the end and then you win. So very nice way to give out some rewards without just giving them to you by having a super easy event. So that'll be available tomorrow. And then this is the information from Asuna. So this is all the missions that are listed. So we've got the new addition to the story event. We get the Gohan's Tears support memory. This is from the event with the physical gravity training Goku, who obviously returned if you didn't have him previously. Just a couple, I think, is it one extra? It might be 1 or 2 extra stages. It doesn't say specifically, but the missions are for Dokkan awakening him, which I assume just auto completes if you've already done it. If not, because I know there's been glitches in the game like this before, if you already have him awakened and this mission doesn't auto complete, just reverse him and then like reawaken him, and that should work. And then, yeah, we get the Gohan's Tears support memory, and of course you get there's seemingly always a mission reward where it refunds you the exact amount you have to use it, to just use the support memory, so easy enough. Then we have the easy area for the Ginyu Force. These are pretty straightforward. All the missions are exactly the same as the previous ones. It's just, of course, the addition of awakening Berta and Jace, so nothing too new there. We got the other story event, which is going to be the one to farm Krillin. So farming up Krillin, and then of course awakening him, getting him to level 10. Then we have the other story mission where you could already get the Zarbon from. They're obviously going to be a stage where you can get his medals, so there's a mission to awaken him. So all very straightforward. Then we have part 2, 350 million download celebration mission. So yeah, it is officially the start of part 2. So clearing an event with legendary existence or sworn enemies. You only have to have 1 unit on the team, so nice and easy. Get a farmable character, Dokkan Awakening, use a support memory. So some of this stuff, all very, very straightforward, typical event missions. Obviously, if you can burn through these super quickly, you get a bunch of stones for beating them all as well. So pretty good. Then this looks like this is missions for the Link level special event, which is also going to be coming tomorrow. Amazing power-up guidance of the Elder, so it's obviously about Guru. You can just basically get commissions for completing it 1 to 10 times. For the purposes of this celebration, we don't know yet, I think, if it's available like once every day, or I'm assuming it's going to be like when the Whis Orb event first came out, where it's every day for the duration of the celebration, and then it goes to being once a week or something, but we still don't know exactly how that works. And then obviously the Bulma mission, 10 Dragon Stones, clear 1 time. The mission refreshes every day, which is why you get 10 stones every time for beating it. I wonder if you probably get a stone for beating it the first time as well. There you go. Then we have some typical missions, perform EZAs, that ties into the AGL Goku one as well. Killing a certain amount of enemies. I mean, those just tie into a whole bunch of the different events, so going to be super easy to get those. The Bardock event, we already knew about this, so complete 1 of the stages gives you 5. Any 3 stages is a Grand Kai, and then all the stages is a Sticker and Elder Kais, and as we saw on the previous one, you get a bunch of stones for doing the missions as well. Actually, that shows them all here. So beating a whole bunch of them going to give you a nice set of rewards. The collection of epic battles, the 2nd stage, so we now know what the missions are going to be. Planet Namek Saga, Super Saiyan category, and Legendary Existence category. This is going to be like the first one, where instead of super units getting a nerf, it's going to be extreme, so you're going to want to do all super type teams for these. Obviously I will try and do no item runs for all those videos again. And then we have the missions for the EZA for AGL Goku. Very standard for 30 stage EZA missions, just for doing it within a time limit, and then stage 20 with at least 1 character from the category. So this confirms what we already suspected, which is that the sworn enemies will be the special category for the EZA. So I will be putting up a team building guide for that later on as well. So that's all the information about the missions. Very quickly, we're going to look at the details for the units here. Shout out to Gresh again for the translations. So EZA Jace, his SA, he raises defense for 1 turn, does supreme damage, raises allies attack and defense by 20% for 1 turn. Pretty decent, although I feel like on a lot of his teams you're probably just going to be running him in slot 3, so the raising allies attack and defense isn't necessarily the most useful, but if you do end up putting him in slot 2, pretty good. Raising defense on Super is something he definitely needed because he wasn't very good defensively. He gets attack and defense 90%, attack and defense 20% per attack performed, max of 60, so up to 150 total, that's pretty decent. Extreme class allies 3 key and 30% attack. He foresees enemy super attacks, which is still probably the most useful part of his kit. And then Ginyu Force allies defense 40% if there is another Ginyu Force ally on the team. So on the actual Ginyu Force team, he's obviously going to be very good because he's giving 30% attack, 40% defense. Obviously, he gets those for himself as well. So when his passive is fully built up to 150%, he's then also getting another 40% defense and raising defense for 1 turn on super. So hopefully that fixes the issue of his defense being really bad. So then we have the Berta EZA. He still infinitely stacks defense. Now he raises attack for 1 turn and does supreme damage. His passive attack and defense 100%, attack and defense 20% per key sphere obtained. That's quite a lot per key sphere obtained. High chance to evade enemies' attacks as the first attacker in the turn. I'm annoyed that they didn't change this because it means attacks in slot 1 before he attacks. Like, this doesn't activate. They added something in a bit later for that, but as the first, he gets medium chance to perform an additional super attack as the second or third attacker in the turn. I like this addition because if you don't want to put him in slot 1 because there's like 10 attacks or maybe they're type disadvantage or something crazy like that, having him in the second or third turn, he now does something else. So the fact that he infinitely raises defense, if you can get that second super off, that's going to be really good. And then he gets an additional 20% chance to evade enemy attacks if there's another Ginyu Force category ally on the team. So that means if you have another Ginyu Force member and you do put him in slot 1, he has a 20% chance to dodge, which is not great. And then of course after he attacks, he then has 2 separate procs. If he's in slot 1, he'll have the 50% chance from the first part of his passive and then still have that 20% chance as well. So hopefully you are going to be a bit more likely to see those dodges in slot 1, but he's still potentially a bit of a liability if there's multiple attacks before he attacks. So Jace seems really good, Berta just seems kind of okay. Then we have the Krillin and Vegeta card. So this is the Krillin form. Attack and defense 60%, gain an additional attack and defense 30 when performing a super, medium chance to evade enemies' attacks and gain an additional attack and defense 30% per attack evaded, maximum of 60. So when his stats are built up, he's pretty decent as well, 150 total after performing a super. And then you can exchange once you have dodged 4 attacks. And then he becomes the Vegeta, raises attack infinitely, does supreme damage, recovers 20% HP once only, so that'll be when you do the exchange, attack and defense 100%, gain an additional attack and defense 50 when launching a super. That seems kind of, the Vegeta version seems way worse. Is there like an additional thing or something? No. Wow. Yeah, the Vegeta version just seems worse. That's kind of crazy, but we'll have to see how it plays out in game. Then we have the win-lose cards. Obviously, they are very similar, but there are some slight differences this time. Previously, they've been exactly the same every time. So, SA is raise attack and defense by 35% for 1 turn, does supreme damage. Passive, attack and defense 35, gain an additional 35 when attacking, gain an additional 35 when there is an extreme class enemy, gain an additional 35 when performing a super attack, gain an additional key 3 and 35, and perform an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super when there is 1 enemy, and gain an additional 5 key, attack and defense 35, and perform 2 additional attacks. They each have a medium chance of becoming a super when there are 2 or more enemies. That is a long passive right there for a card that's being given out for free. But that Bardock definitely seems pretty good. Like, when you get all of this stuff factored in, you can get up to a fairly decent level of stats. So, be interesting to see that in game. And then Frieza is basically the same, but obviously replace attacking extreme with a super class enemy. And then instead of the multiple enemies thing, he gets an additional 3 key, an attack defense 35, and a medium chance of performing a crit when there is 1 enemy. So Bardock actually has like a little bit of extra text, right? Because he has an extra thing when there's multiple enemies. So that is interesting. And then the Zarbon and Dodoria, supreme damage and lower attack, attack and defense 70, attack and defense 10 per attack performed, max of 50, so up to 120. Gain an additional attack and defense 50 if there is a character whose name includes Frieza attacking in the same turn, soldier excluded. And then Space Traveling Warriors category 2 key and 20% attack and defense. So he's going to be really, really good now on Frieza's team, like the new Frieza, because if you're running a Frieza on both rotations, this guy is going to be supporting them, getting the extra buff for themselves as well. And then once they've maxed out, they're performing a certain number of attacks, like their overall stats are going to be very, very high. Still remains to be seen whether these guys and the physical Goku will ease the A, although I do think that they will. And then Goresh has mentioned here the support memory, so obviously the collection of epic battles one is just the opposite of the Frieza one, so it's Namek Saga Super Allies, 15% attack and defense for the whole fight, and then the Gohan's Tears one from the story event is Goku Family Allies, attack and defense 10% for 2 turns from the start of battle, once only. So this will be really good for people that still need to do like Goku Family Super Battle Road, or any of the Super Battle Roads where you can bring a largely Goku family team. So there you go, ton of stuff coming out tomorrow. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I will be live when all of this stuff drops, so do come by and check it out. And yeah, lots of free stones coming, lots of interesting stuff. Part 2 officially starting tomorrow. So by the time this video goes up, it's going to be less than 24 hours from when it all starts. So let me know down below what you are most excited about. Which of the units do you think are going to be the most interesting? Let me know all of that down below in the comments section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.